Okay guys, so welcome to Me and My Golf TV and welcome to the Orlando show, the PGA show, and we're here at the Boditrak sports booth here with Mark Blackburn, tour coach, and we've got a great product here, Mark. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, great to be here, guys.
So what we're going to do, we're going to actually, this is something that we've been using our coaching, our videos recently, but we'd like to show the guys at home what this measures and how it can maybe help them understand a bit more about what's going on the ground.
Okay, so why don't we let Pierce take a swing, and then we'll take a look at it and I'll explain some of the data and then some of what you see good drivers of the golf ball do, and then we can take a look at that so people can understand it.
Perfect. Let's have a look.
All right, so go ahead, take a swing. Okay, awesome. All right, so let's take a look at this and let's talk about some of the things we see with the best players and then what we're going to see here. So typically when we go back to address, so if we roll this back to address here, so at address, your right's kind of in the range that we typically see. So tour average is about, even with a driver, 50 to 55 on the lead leg, a little bit less on the trail leg. Now, questions typically, well, why is that? Well, if you think about it, the players push off of the lead leg to then go back onto that trail leg. So typically everyone was like, well, you might think you got to stand here. Well, not necessarily, because remember, the mat measures your interaction with the ground, right? So center of pressure, don't think of weight shift, think of how hard you're actually pushing into the ground. So whatever we do with the golf club is reflected basically our movement in the ground. So we'll sum this up as when we take the club back, so at address you're here, we want you to obviously load into the trail leg in the backswing. Best players in the world with a driver get about 80% of their pressure to the trail leg. So let's just take this to the top and we'll see. So here we are, we'll take that to the top of the backswing. So we're just going to drag this 1 second. So here we can see, and we've got the video running. So pretty much at the top of your backswing, obviously your pressure's already going a little to the lead leg, but you're kind of maxed out at about 76. That's not bad, that's pretty good. Now, the good news is, if you wanted to hit a little bit further, you've definitely got potential there to get a bit more pressure into the trail leg. So, but at the end of the day, you've got to remember, everything is about impact, right? So the best players, they're getting all their pressure into that lead leg to maximize, compress the ball, get the biggest hit. So let's see what you do. Not bad, you're right in a good spot here, but let's see what we do in the downswing.
So hopefully Andy will have a little bit more power in the tank, yeah?
Yeah.
An extra, what, 10 yards maybe?
20 maybe, we'll see.
So here's what's really cool for you. Definitely have a lot of potential for a lot of speed.
Yeah.
So you're only getting 60% of the pressure into your lead leg at impact. Now, the best players, 80% comfortably. That's with irons and drivers. You see a little bit more of that shift as I talked about 80% to the trail on the way back and then about 80% back into the lead. It's almost there identical. You're only at about 60, so you're leaving quite a lot of oomph on the table. The other thing that's interesting, what's your shot pattern? Are you a push draw guy, like, and a miss to the right? Would that be indicative?
Miss to the right would be the one, yeah.
Okay, so one thing that's really cool about pressure mapping is you can kind of predict what you're going to do with a golf shot. Anyone that gets a lot of pressure in that lead toe, you see here, this is reflecting 83% of the pressure on your lead toe. That's very much an inside push type tendency, and if you don't, you're so far out ahead of it, now you've got to rotate the handle, so you've got two misses. So it's really good. Now, one thing I will tell everybody, the traces, the shape of the traces is unique. It's a bit like your signature. So typically people look at this, I've got to have that trace. Well, there's probably going to be only one trace that Pierce has, so you got to kind of know, all right, well, what am I trying to do? It's more important to get the pressure shifting in between the legs to maximize the force than it is the shape of it. Now, I will say this, as a trend, for those people I'm looking at this, I would say avoid toes. Excessively on the toes always means, hey, look, the hosel of the club, the shaft stands up, gets really hard to get that centered hit, which obviously we all want to do to maximize our distance.
The bad one happen quite often.
100%. So for you, a really cool thing, I don't see us having a problem with the backswing, but it would really be cool if we could possibly give you, as a drill we call crush the cam, where you basically get on the mat, your lead leg comes up, and as you start down, you want to get that pressure onto the lead leg. Great little drill, and that shifts that pressure getting forwards to give you the sensation for it. So obviously, it takes some time, but it's a good drill because you can actually feel getting into that lead leg, and then that would definitely help you. Let's try one.
So another thing about this actually, Mark, as well, is that the pressure, obviously, the pressure match shows obviously where the weight is, helps you with creating that load into the right and then distance, but also by changing the pressure, you can also change your path as well by maybe with Pierce, Pierce going more this way. If he was to get it more into that heel, the club's going to be delivered 100%. A little bit better.
Exactly.
Rather than focusing on the swing, you can focus on the feet.
100%, and you're spot on, because a lot of people have the ability to feel things in their feet. You've got hundreds of thousands of proprioceptors on the bottom of your foot, whereas a golf club, most people don't necessarily have the hand-eye coordination, especially our club golfers, right? So yeah, feeling it on the feet, if they understand, hey, I got to get my pressure over here, that's the complete opposite of, you know, them struggling, fixes the swing. So a lot of times the club path, like TrackMan and swing direction, follows the pressure trace. So when you see a trace that gets excessively, we call that kind of a fish hook out towards the lead toe, that's where the swing direction and obviously the path's going to go. So when you see more of a linear trace, that tends to be more of a neutral club path and swing direction. So you can kind of characterize what's going to come out from a data standpoint based on that. And people do way better thinking about their feet than they do their hands.
Let's do it. We call it the Nicholas drill. So you push the can, the Nicholas drill,
so
left heel and
absolutely bashing it into the ground. So
I'm a bit disappointed he might be knocking it past me now, Mark. That's the only problem.
Oh, that's all good. We will like that. So let's just go ahead.
He's never knocked it past me in his life.
Capture another one. So you're going to lift that. Let's just walk through that. Let's swing to the top. Let the lead heel come up. Okay, now before you start the club down, I want you to drive that lead heel into the. There you go. Absolutely perfect. That's what we want. So let's go ahead and try that one more time. Here we go. Okay, so that's exactly what we want to see. If you look here, we've changed the shape of the trace. You've got 73% versus that 60, and versus being as much in that lead toe, now we're starting to see some pressure into the lead heel. So that's exactly what we want to see. Also, your velocity changed a little bit in a good way. So I think the beauty of this is that it verifies, hey, you want to drive it better and you want to drive it further, which everybody does. The more you can get pressure moving between the trail and the lead leg, which the best players do, the better off you're going to do it. So the more biofeedback type stuff you can do using this mat is very, very useful. So having it there, getting that feel, but absolutely. Look at the long drive, guys. All the long drivers lift the heel up. There's a reason. Allows them to be able to get more energy into the golf ball. It's great stuff. So just work on some of that type of stuff. I really think that can help you get rid of that push block too. More focusing on ending up with pressure in the lead heel will be huge for you.
Nice, like it. Andy, you've gone now, that's it. 50 yards past you.
50 yards past me, I think we'll see. Okay guys, thanks for watching that. I mean, a great bit of kit. We're going to be using it in our videos, but also with our students. It's going to be interesting to see how we can help those. Post your comments down below. What do you think about that? Could it work for you? Thanks for watching.